One, two, one, two.
1, 2, microphone checker. That will never die out for me. These young folks don't know what that really mean. Good morning, Darius.
At all.
Good morning. Good morning. Good
I
morning,
got a
Janet.
couple. I got
Good
before
morning,
we get into
Hakim.
it.
What? All I gotta say is what a week.
Right before we get into it, I think I got a couple of knowledge, a couple acknowledgments to make. One, today is my mom's birthday. Want to shout out to my mom. Rest in peace. There, having a celebration there in heaven. She'd been 78 years old today. Was the love of my life, and she's out, celebrating her birthday with the King of all Kings. The other thing is, I have from week to week that we have this show. I don't think that I do it enough, but I give the glory. Somebody said, "Oh, your show and your graphics and this and that is great. How did you do that?" And it's because of my producer Hakim Nuba. He actually makes me look good. He makes me look like I know what I'm doing. So I want to give shout out to Hakim Nuba and all that he does, and that he this is what he does. You got to find somebody that does whatever it is you need done for a living. You know what I mean? They are embossed in these types of things. Would I get Hakim to help me make a dress? No. You know what I'm saying? Would I
No.
get Hakim to come and edge and cut my yard up? No.
Mm-mm.
But you have to get people who this is what they do for a living. So I shout out to Hakim for Hubnet Online Radio Network. We are going in the month of August. We are going into 8 years of being on the air. And it's started a lot of times in this business. You don't normally start out with who end with who you started out with, and we started out together, and we still rocking. You know. So, and our story is actually kind of funny. One day we'll tell it, but how we met and how we came to be. But that being said, I want to give all um, props to Hakim for making Hubnet Online Radio what it is today. Now, those are the two acknowledgments I have to make. The last one is Darius, you've been rocking with us. I appreciate you being my sidekick. All the information and sports and stuff that you bring to the network, we couldn't do it without you. So we appreciate
And
you as
yeah, yes, that Janet. And don't forget for the people out there in Shoebox Talk, my group is called Protesting for Major Changes for Now and in the Future. I We're gonna get into that story about Saya Massey, but if you want to get in my group that's not and post stories that's not been covered by the national media, post it in my group and it'll be up for discussion.
right, and we research stuff too. We gonna make sure we get down to the have a conversation with it. A lot of our content comes from Darius's group and things that's going on. The purpose of his group is and correct me if I'm wrong, Darius. It is to report on things that you wouldn't find on the national news that's happening in our community. And a lot of them times, the
That's
little
right.
stories and stuff that don't make national news. That ain't the only thing that's going on in our culture and in our history. I mean, with us. So yeah, we want to that's the way you want to know about some stuff. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I read something or Darius post something and I was like, what? I would have never knew that if Darius. I don't know nobody in that town, and I don't watch that news, for that city or whatever, that local news. So yeah, that's we need that. So we'll appreciate you, Darius, in that group as well. Now,
Thank you
now
very
we got the
much.
housekeeping out the way, as they say. I hate to use that word; it sounds kind of old, but we got some housekeeping out the way. We are talking Hubnet news today. It's so much. I'm usually when we have Hubnet news, I just let you and Hakim rock because it'd be too much. Like I could do a show on my own and just talk about the little bit of stuff I know what's going on. It's crazy what's going on, how things are going on. So what y'all got? We need to catch up on.
Uh, anybody want to talk about Biden resigning or the Sonya Massey shooting?
Let's first talk about Biden resigning because that's a big one. The president
Yeah.
of these United States decided to throw in the towel. What y'all think about that?
Well,
Uh,
he didn't.
my
He resigned to campaign at the
oh, go ahead.
presidency. Let's
Go
remember
ahead,
he
Hakim.
resigned he resigned the campaign, not the presidency. I was hoping
Right.
he resigned the presidency. I wanted him to bow out, not being president, which would have made Kamala Harris president day one. This past Monday, she would have been president if he would have resigned from the presidency. She would have had the power of a president for 3 to 6 months.
Hmm.
She could have went into this campaign as president, which would have really gave her more juice than she's getting now.
How
Um,
so? How so, Hakim? Because I thought about that too. The difference between the two. How so? How is it her being the
well,
president?
he
She
just
would have had
said,
to, that's a lot. The 6 months, I think strategy wise, the 6 months that she gets the campaign, and well, not even 6 months, 100 and something days that she gets to campaign and focus on winning, beating Donald Trump versus running the country and campaigning. That would have been too much for her. Like that would have been too much.
no, it wouldn't. It wouldn't have, because Biden, he was doing it as an old ass man. So when we got a 58-year-old woman who's vibrant with a team, a strong team around her, and we're seeing her flying all over the world, sitting there talking to leaders as the president. She would have came into the campaign as the first woman president, black woman president at that. And she would have had the power of the presidency behind her. Now she just got her chest that he amassed. She got all the money. She got all the offices, over 2,000 offices or whatever it is. All of those are being turned over to her. So just imagine Biden Monday morning. Tuesday morning, she's meeting with Netanyahu, whatever the son of a bitch name is,
Yeah, close.
meeting him as the president,
Hmm.
flying all over to Europe. There's things on the books that Biden has to do in the next 6 months. She would have been doing it as the president and campaigning.
Okay,
And
so
she would have had the power of the president, which is the most powerful microphone in the world. Because when he says at 8 o'clock, I want all TVs to turn to me, that's what happens.
well, I think Biden, the fact that he had to make that decision to give it up, and I feel like from what I can see, the only reason he was getting ready to get back from COVID and go do what he got to do to beat Trump. When the Democrats started calling him for Nancy Pelosi and started calling him to step down, I think he got up in his feelings. Was like, what? I think I better go ahead and just forget y'all. I'm up out of here. I'm too old. Y'all ain't got my back. It was a whole bunch of them people that rolled with Biden. When Nancy Pelosi stepped up, because there was a couple of them, it was about good 10, 20 of them. But when she stepped up and had that conversation with him, that's when he got up in his feelings. You know.
Well, she had to, because you got to remember the big donors, not
Yeah.
not
That
us
too.
who's doing
That
20 and 30.
right.
It was the big donors. They said we aren't drawing another check unless he can show us or he can leave. He tried to show them. He was for a hot second, and then he started fumbling again. He
Mhm.
thought that George Stephanopoulos interview was going to turn things around. It didn't. He still had a couple moments where
After
he
that
got
last
lost.
debate, that's when people was like, "Wait, yeah, it was horrible. It was horrible."
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah,
I called.
it could have went. What do you think, Darius? It could have went both ways. It could have been, you know, I mean, shoot, he stepped down. So Kamala has the room to go ahead and what you call it, that would have been kind of gangster too. Either way, the fact that she became president immediately, or the fact that he endorsed her and she is getting a run for president, with 100 days, and then it worked. What he did worked, because all the donors was like, "Oh yeah, we here you go." She raised $100 million in less than a week.
A week. A
That's
week.
crazy. It took Donald Trump all this year to get that much money, $111 million, and that's with selling sneakers and all kinds of shit. You know,
Well,
um, that's crazy.
Well,
She broke
here's
all
the
kind of records.
thing. First off, I kind of mentioned about Kamala. I think was it a couple weeks ago on the show. I said she was going to be running for president.
I
I've
remember
been
that.
reading on the internet, or I've been reading on the internet on YouTube about tea leaves about what's really going on. And
Hmm.
then when I got home from church, I got an inbox from a friend of mine saying, he said, "What's going on about who's going to vote for Kamala?" I said, "What's going on about Kamala?"
Mm,
Said the president just stepped down. I just got home
mm,
and seeing this stuff, and I say, "Yep, I'm not surprised." Then all the news stations carried that all night. Then when Kamala got the official endorsement, it was just an alternate racist. And I believe if she keeps this momentum up, it's going to be really interesting come November.
well,
It depends on who's going to be her VP pick and
right.
all that money she
That's
raised,
that's gonna play a big part. Who do y'all
including
think? Speaking of, since you brought that up, who do y'all think would be a good VP pick?
oh,
Anybody but a woman.
Right. Yeah, two women ain't gonna make it.
oh
We do need
She's
to
no,
got
get.
to
We
she's
need
got
to
to
make.
struggle on her own. So whoever she's picked is going to have to
Right.
be someone either from the Midwest or from the South. I know they're looking at Josh Shapiro up here, our governor in PA. I say no, leave his ass right where he at. Um, it has to be someone who could convince one, the good old boys in the Democratic Party that their interest is going to be met, and two, the blue collar folks, the factory workers, those kind of dudes. You
What
can't
about
get
what about Gavin Newsom?
no,
no.
no. Gavin
Why?
Newsom, I see you in 2028. Here's my thing. If Kamala fucks this up and drops the ball, let's say she wins. If she
Mhm.
drops the ball between now and 2028, I'm getting behind Gavin Newsom because I like the way he governs.
Me too.
I'm a
I
fan
like.
of his policies.
Yep. Yep.
He's the only governor that's not shutting down the conversations about reparations.
That's right. That's
Right?
right.
He's the
But
only
that's the
governor
reason
that's
why I
talking
brought
about.
him up. So if she picked him though, black people that know that he may get the black vote. He
He's
may
going to get he may get some of the black vote, but the problem is he is a liberal. She's too liberal for what we need to get her over the hump. If that makes any sense, right? The guy that's governing over Silicon Valley is not going to resonate with Ohio. He's not going to resonate in down in the damn South,
Mhm, mhm.
right? We can't have two Ivy League, super smart, intelligent college people. It's not going to work. You got to have a good old boy or someone who can resonate with that type of crowd.
Okay, okay. So
But you
now
damn sure can't have another woman. This country ain't going to do it. They giving her hell.
unless
So
unless because women bring in so what happens is the women is bringing in the young vote. These young kids is if for whatever the reason is mama issues or whatever, they are bringing in women bringing the young votes better than the old dudes is the old cats. So and this is far fetched. This is over to the left, way over to the left. But the only woman I would see that would bring in the votes, or if it was two women, would be Michelle Obama. If she ran with her on that ticket, that would be crazy.
want to hear
I
something
heard that
crazy?
name.
Want to hear something crazy? Michelle Obama is the top Democratic choice, according to all the polling for the last 6 months. They say she will wipe Donald Trump out by double digits.
Yeah, she would.
She
That would
will,
be
but
crazy.
she is her. She polls better than Barack. She's more popular than her husband is
Yep, facts. I
because
saw that.
yeah. So it's just yeah. I mean, but she's not going to do it. She don't want to do it.
No, she
You got
have
to
to.
remember that. You got to remember she'll be taking a pay cut.
Right.
She just did
Exactly.
8 years. She just did 8 years in the White House. She came up with actual policies, and when you're the first lady, you get to do the philanthropic stuff that the White House wants to do, the stuff for the kids, all the free healthy lunch choices in schools now. The options are there because that was her agenda,
Hmm.
and she did it for 8 years, right? Physical fitness, healthiness, getting active. Stop what they say, unbig that back. That was all her thing.
Yeah.
So, but she don't want to do it. Her and Barack got a what 60-something million production deal with Netflix.
Do they?
Why would they? Yeah, why would they want to do that when they could be making movies and making shows?
I didn't know that. What kind
Yeah,
of
they
what they
they eat
make
they
up?
eating them. They are eating.
What kind of movies they made? They was already millionaires though. They wasn't broke
They
coming to the
they
office.
they did a show on Netflix. I can't remember which one, but they have a production company and the production deal with Netflix, so they can make shows, documentaries, whatever.
Okay.
I just can't. They got one piece out already. I just can't remember what it is at the moment.
Okay, I'm gonna find out what it is so I can make sure I support it. Yeah, okay. Right. So you making movies, you moving, and then all of a sudden you gotta be, this is the thing this is what I say about Biden. He was when he did his 8 years to include his 38 years prior to that, been in office since he was 20 some years old. That's a long ass time. For you to come out of retirement because you love your country so much and see the first 4 years how we was, you got to get to do some props. Because if he hadn't, ain't no telling what these 4 years that we've gone through with him would have been. This country would have been in with Donald Trump with a second term. You know. So when he did that, I had to get up. Well, I'm gonna always vote for Democrat, but I had to give him his props. Like I'm tired. I got to get up and then I can't sit by and let somebody. This dude is going to have us killed. Like the stuff that he's doing these 4 years. This is no. I got to do something. And ran for office. I don't know if I'm gonna win or not, but I'm gonna do something. You got to get a dude props because the average person wouldn't have did that. Like nah, I don't know about that. I love my country, but I love myself more. That dude. Like wow, knowing he probably wasn't feeling good then. So that's why I roll with it with Biden, and he came out of retirement, um, and living his life after he did well over. I don't know. Maybe you can speak to history. No politician that has done as much as he's done for this country, been in office and serving all this time. That's longer than most people are in the some of these generals and stuff that's retired from the military. That's crazy. So, you know,
Yeah,
I
and,
hope
and when
that
you say that to people, they like, well, I don't see what they got. You got to remember, the average person you're talking to doesn't understand how government works.
that's correct.
The reason why they gravitate to this idea that Trump gave us money, because from their perspective, it is the first time that a president sent them something, or at least they think a president sent them something. But
Right.
but
Yeah.
the stimmies, the stimmy. I'm not even going to talk about the PPP and the PUA. Just
Right.
the stimmies. That was Nancy Pelosi.
Mhm. Mhm.
She had to
Yep.
literally go when she was Speaker of the House. She had to go and fight with Chuck Schumer on it because he didn't think it was possible,
Mhm. Mhm.
and she convinced him. Then she had to go and fight the other side. Like, yo, not just our people aren't sitting home broke. Your people are too.
Right. And they still didn't want to do it. Want the government to close down and everything. Now, maybe
Yeah,
before the government, they would do any. They'd rather have the government shut down than to send black folks money, to send
yeah,
people
because
money.
because
But
and that
Yeah.
and that was the
Trump did that.
issue.
Mhm.
That was the issue. They didn't want to do it for everybody. They just wanted to do it for some people. She
Right.
said, no, everybody got to do it. How is it going to work for all your billionaire companies that y'all love this, that support y'all and invest in y'all? Their workers are home and can't work, and they're not making money.
Mhm.
They're
Right.
not spending money.
Right.
So what they had to do is she went and got them checks cut. She took it up to Donald. She got it passed, in the House and the Senate, which was a miracle to get them white people to want the idea to give away free money, and black people and Latino people going to benefit from it. They hated it, but they held their nose and they did it anyway. This son of a bitch held it up for an extra 2 weeks because he did not want it to go out electronically. He wanted to mail out paper checks, and he wanted it to say Trump on it.
On the checks?
Yeah.
Yes. Remember that?
You want to take credit for it? See, this is
remember the big news story was he said he was going to veto it because he wanted to mail out paper checks and he wanted to say from Donald Trump. And they said, get the fuck out of here. His own people had to go in there and tell him, yo, what are you doing? People can't get up and go to work. They're locked in their homes.
Want to take credit for it. That's what I'm talking about. But black people, we don't see all that. They don't know. They don't do their research. They don't know their history. Oh, this is the best. I'm voting for Donald Trump, and he takes credit for that. He be in his rallies talking about how he done gave money and all this kind of stuff. In reality, But see, this is the thing that pisses me off about the Democrats. Nancy Pelosi will never stand up there and tell you that she did all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, she does. She does. She ain't got no problem with saying. I see her daughter all the time. It's just if you're not watching C-SPAN, if all you're watching is CNN, Fox, and MSNBC, you ain't seeing even a fraction of all the shit that's going on.
No, I'm talking about like he is getting up at rallies, making T-shirts. I sent the check. If I was Nancy Pelosi, I'd have me a T-shirt and say, I sent the check. That kind of thing.
She ain't gonna do that.
This idiot, right? She's not nobody else in the House or the Senate is even when they're being interviewed. They catch them coming out the White House or whatever the case may be. Is bringing you really don't know who everything you just said about how Nancy Pelosi went through that process. It's not publicized to include half the shit that Biden did. A lot of people don't know that Biden did half the shit he did, especially black people. Because they don't talk about it like this idiot does. So
and then half of the stuff that he talks about, it don't even be true. Right. he will tell you he did some shit and he didn't do anything.
Yep. But they
what I mean?
It don't matter what he say. If you knew that everybody on your social media platform believe everything no matter what you say you did, you would say this. They would agree that believe that you did it. You would say it too. You know what I'm saying? No matter he could do, people sit up and talk about all the stuff Biden didn't do, or what his issue is, or Kamala at this point. But the dude that was on the platform talking, the Republican, I forgot his name. He's always very salty. He says, Vance had to get him because he was over there talking about. Talking about how what Biden didn't do, how Kamala probably knew that he was sick, and all of the Democrats this and that, or whatever the case may be, and then said, "Are you serious? Are we going to sit him and the dude that used to be the I'm so bad with names. It used to be the guy that was over running a campaign for Obama." Said, "Are you serious? Are you forgetting that this dude?" And they started listing all the stuff. They had to go to commercial. All the stuff that Donald Trump did, and you sitting up here talking about the handful of things that you think Kamala did and the Democrats did. You got that. Just that in itself, though, the stuff that he's done, the list of things that this dude has done and said, don't even compare to the stuff that you listing right now. The dude just had to sit back in his chair and shut the hell up because it was ridiculous. How could you compare the two? How could you And one of them ladies said, and you said the thing that kills me, and she was a Republican too. See, the thing that kills me about my party is he's wrong, but you support him anyway. that capital 6 thing was wrong, and you support him anyway. So you can't. With that being said, you can't say shit about the Democrats. That's basically what she was saying. You know what I'm saying?
And then the other side of it is our people. I love our people, but the niggotry gotta stop. Well, he did prison reform. No, the fuck he didn't do a prison reform. He let a bunch of people out. He let the people out to pander to you because Kim Kardashian went up to the White House and said, "Let out my friends," and he did it because it was an election year.
Right. Come on, black people.
Pay attention.
Oh,
He
don't
he
forget
did
Kanye West up there too.
yeah. He
Yeah.
did a bunch of he did it.
Yeah.
The main reason why he finally tapped out to do the PUA because it was 2020. And he thought that okay, this will be a good way to make everybody happy with me so I can get reelected.
Especially
It's
black
it's
folks.
it's
Yep.
yeah, and guess what? For a good fraction of black folks, it worked. He gave you a $1,200 check. How much did Joe Biden give you when he came in day one? 14. And you never hear it.
Nope.
Well, Trump gave us checks. Yeah, Biden gave you more than he gave. And then it's like, well, what Biden hasn't done anything for us. Okay, listen. I can get that he old as fuck. I can get that he looks like the crypt keeper walking around. I can get you like Mumra. I understand all that, and I agree with all that, but I'm not going to sit there and act like I haven't been paying attention. Think back 2020.
Okay.
Think back 2021. We were on this show. We were doing this show.
Yes.
Right? And there's somebody who caught COVID 3 times.
Yes.
I can goddamn tell you. We wasn't outside.
Right.
You had to wear a mask. You wearing a mask today?
No.
Can you go to Walmart, RJ, and all the motherfuckers? You can walk in and get your shit and get up out of there.
Yeah.
Remember curbside pickup because you couldn't go in the stores?
Yes.
Oh, I
You
remember
couldn't
that.
go. Like I was on a group chat with a bunch of women, and I said, y'all couldn't even go out and get them crab legs and that y'all love so much. You can now.
Yep. Facts.
Remember them packs of hair? You couldn't go get your goddamn hair, so some of y'all was looking like you got struck by lightning.
Yeah.
You couldn't go get them shoes. You couldn't go to the club. You couldn't go to the hookah spot. You couldn't do shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
All I know is that man said, "Hey, here's the plan. You as many people as possible are going to get that jab and get that shot, and we going to get y'all back outside." And what did everybody and their mama do? The smart people got the shot. The ones who want to be conspiracy theorists say it's going to kill you and I ain't taking it. Guess what? It worked.
Yep.
And we got outside.
Yep. That was the
and he still kept and people were still getting PUA. People were still getting the PPPs, but he tightened up the restriction because he saw Trump the way he had it, where he reconfigured it. They just threw it out there to anybody and their mama. Help me understand why the LA Lakers was able to get $6 million or whatever that was off of PPP.
Exactly. They turned it down. It was embarrassed.
No, they gave it back. They didn't turn it down. They took it. They had to give it back because the news reported on it.
Right. That's what I meant. Yep. It was
And they had
somebody
to get that
else
shit
besides
back.
the Lakers. It was somebody other big company too. Nike. It was another couple of big companies gave it back. Yeah, I remember.
There was a bunch of them.
Yeah. But you can't tell black people. You can't tell them nothing. They just, what have they done? This is my thing, and I've said stand 10 toes down. You need to stop worrying about what the government doing for you. In this country, they ain't never did nothing for black people. You know what I'm saying? They've done stuff for us as he also gave money to HBCUs and stuff like that. But to sit up and rely on that as a grown ass man, you need to get out here and get your own shit. You need to get out here. You need to be worried about how you're gonna, invest in real estate and get your family going. You ain't got time for you wouldn't if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, unless it's a tax break. You ain't got time. You don't qualify. You ain't gonna qualify for no checks or no handouts anyway. My ass didn't get no check. I didn't qualify for some reason, or the case may be. Let's talk about the dude getting rid of student loans for people.
Yep.
Y'all be paying back. Y'all get your stuff would be getting garnished right now if it wasn't for the crypt keeper. You know what I'm saying? And they did not want that. Them Republicans did not want that to happen.
Not at all. They sued him.
Yes.
They fucking sued him. And it was like he was trying to do it for everybody. It was like if you got a federal loan, which is a loan that was given out by the federal government, and I run the federal government, I'm going to wipe it out to give everybody a restart.
Right. Which is a big deal.
Case in point, I watched a live podcast that was happening at the Essence Fest. And it was all black podcast, native land podcast, which I love. And they got a Crockett, Representative Crockett from down in Texas. Blonde Beach, blonde, bad built, Barbie bitch, whatever. She's the one that said that. She stood up and she said, how many women in here has gotten their student loans removed? And they were standing up, and then she would say, how much for you? $200K. How much for you? $150K. They were screaming out how much money has gotten wiped out. This is all black. This is SSS. Black. So the crazy part, it was majority women. I only heard a couple brothers. The bottom line is we got to stop this narrative and do some research on what government does for us, and then we talking about it ain't doing shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't know what you talking about, and Biden ain't this, Biden ain't that, because and the idiot will sit up and take credit for shit, and you'll believe him, right? Knowing good and damn well our dumb ass is gonna believe him, knowing that, and ain't nobody on the Biden team saying you are lying. You ain't do that.
They do all the time.
They don't do it loud enough for these black people to get it.
But see,
some kind of a way we not getting it.
And it's because people don't research nothing. Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube are not reputable news sources.
That's what they think. That's it. That's the all end all right there. If it's on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, oh yeah, that's the news. It's official. I love MSNBC. That is, when it comes to the big corporate news media, I love MSNBC. But I'm also smart enough to know that is talking head news. Some of the shit that they say, everybody on that channel are not a journalist. No.
Right? Case in point.
Right.
Trump got shot in the air. What was the 3 things we heard about the dude that first 24-hour cycle? He's a registered Republican, and he donated to who? Remember? They said he sent donations to a Democratic group. That first day, that Saturday, all the way until Sunday. By Monday morning, they stopped saying it. Why? Because a Philadelphia news company, the Inquirer, actual goddamn investigative reporter, had to go and do a simple research and said, no, it wasn't him. A dude in his 60s who has the same name made a donation. So $1 billion news company, $4 billion news companies was sitting here telling me that a little retarded Republican donated $15 to a political group that is Democratic, and it was absolutely false.
So the purpose of that was to say that he was a Democrat, so they can blame the Democrats for killing Trump, trying to kill Trump.
It ran with it, and it was working. Oh, he's registered. He registered as a Republican, but he does give money to the Democrats to a progressive action campaign. That is to give you the idea that a Trumper turned on Trump to kill him on behalf of the Democrats. Why? Because it sells commercials. It's salacious. Because when you hear that, you're not going to turn the channel because you're waiting for more breaking news, more information. So now more people are staring at the TV. So now they can run their numbers up on their ads. They can charge Bounty and Dorito or whoever the fuck, Ozempic, all them commercials that run on these news channels. They can charge them more now.
Because you got more eyeballs watching.
Because more eyeballs is watching.
And the narrative that the Democrats is trying to kill Trump.
Yeah. So you telling me? So you telling me some reporter in the Philadelphia Inquirer who doesn't even live in that area? It's like a good I don't know how many hours drive from Philly. Went up there and found that out. Who went and checked the goddamn registry to see all the people in this guy's name has the same name. And how did y'all miss that?
Yeah,
Unless it was purposely done and planted in there.
I think because they got enough people working at them news. I think that was purposely done. Like I think that was for a number of reasons, probably for eyeballs or because they just somebody probably gave them some big company probably gave them a whole lot of money to run that story. Who knows?
Well, no,
News.
because it's the way media works is if Janet comes up with the story and she reports it, Darius is going to parakeet it. I'm going to parakeet it. Everybody is going to parakeet it, and they're going to restate the same shit over and over and over. That's how the news media works. And the crazy part is the way it works is whoever can break the story first. That's the one who gets the glory. That's the one who's trying to get the award.
Gotcha. Media shit.
Yeah, that's why black media is so important. Because guess what? I had to have a black man tell me that. A black man Monday morning named Michael Cord, who writes for the Philadelphia Tribune, who's also a criminal defense attorney, who's also at the head of an organization called Attack, who made sure that we found out and got credit that the first White House was here in Philadelphia. That George Washington had slaves. One black investigative reporter did that. Uncovered where the black man's graves were in Philly. I had to hear him tell me that when $5 billion corporations lied to me for a whole weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Well, you have to keep in mind these news medias, although that's where we do get most of our news, especially the national news. They are a business as well. They are a business, and they compete against each other, and a lot of them support different candidates and stuff like that too. So we have to keep that in mind too. Certain things they should be reporting on, and they're in competition not with us. They're in competition with each other. So
Right.
This dude, I want to shift a little bit and talk about this dude, JD Vance. Like,
the worst senator. I don't know why these idiots here in Ohio voted for him.
This is why, these kind of decisions, and you could tell when he first announced them how they was not even looking at each other, making a contact. Their chemistry was off. They was, people was applauding or whatever. And I'm like, these dudes don't even like each other, right? You could tell Trump. He's one of them ones that you could tell when you don't like something. Look. So I'm reading this and I didn't get a chance to really delve into it, but this dude done changed his name a few times. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
He was born as 3 times. Donald Bowman. This is JD Vance, right? And then he grew up in the suburbs of Middleton, Ohio, right? He wasn't poor, and he went to Yale. He changed his middle name to David, and then changed it again to Jimmy Hamill. Like, why are you legally, not just running around here saying my name is this, legally changed his name all these times? Then he changed it to JD Vance about 10 years ago when he got married. Why? Why is this dude? I've never known it. Do I know somebody? I don't know nobody just out, unless you get married, a woman getting married. Why is he changing his name all these times?
For a whole number of reasons.
Which is what? Like, why does a person, because he's not who he say he is? If you're in a witness protection program, then that would be different, Or if you don't want people to know you Jewish and, you want to change your name so that, you don't get killed in this country or whatever, your safety, your family's safety is in jeopardy. Okay. But ain't nobody looking at that. Like, why? And why wouldn't your people research this before you make him vice president of these here United States?
Well, they did research it and they knew it. But you got to remember the Trump campaign, they don't listen to the real Republicans. The real Republicans are held hostage by the MAGAs. The MAGAs is a cult, right?
Mhm.
And Trump picked someone who will do whatever the hell he says, because Trump is looking at it as, if I win and I want to make a move towards the Senate, I want a vice president that's going to go in there and tip the scales. Because remember, when you are the vice president, you're technically the president of the Senate.
Mhm.
You are the tiebreaker.
Right.
If there's
Correct.
50 Democrats, 50 Republicans, the vice president goes in and gives the vote. They're the tiebreaker.
Right.
That's why Trump picked him, because he wanted an absolute subservient goofball who shares his values. Because remember, when J.D. Vance was running, he called Trump an idiot.
He sure did.
He
He's
was
a
a part.
Hitler.
Yeah.
Modern
He
day
called him.
Hitler.
Yeah, there was a group. There still is. They're called Never Trumpers.
Mhm.
J.D. Vance was one of the young leading Never Trumpers.
Lying.
And going back to why he changed his name, because he's been a lying sack of shit for years. He's an Ohio dude who is from who spent most of his life in Silicon Valley.
Mm.
He is a dude. He had to change his name. Why? Because his first name, he was telling people that he was a gay man.
What?
Then he had this revelation to where he said, "I ain't gay no more," and he changed his name the first time.
But
Then
then want to
he's
run around and talk about people there's old cat ladies and ain't got no kids.
Yeah, because he talked about he if you go and do your research, he spends years bashing gays. When the guy that made him famous, I can't remember his name, who gave him a job and made him a big name out in Silicon Valley, was a rich, powerful billionaire gay man. So he this is him revamping himself over and over to fit whatever's going to work. Right? So here's J.D. Vance. He drops a memoir called Hillbilly Elegy, which got picked up for a Netflix movie. He made more money than God off of that. It became a bestseller where he's talking about his life, about the Appalachian values, in Kentucky and stuff. The fucker's from Ohio. He's a liar.
Well,
Wow.
and like I said, I don't know why these idiots know how
What
voted for him.
Oh my goodness.
He lied through the whole book, and he kept making up narratives of what it's like to live in the Appalachian region. And guess what? And the people in Appalachia is like, that's some bullshit.
That's why they were coming out talking about it. That one
Yeah.
guy said, I was trying to figure out why I couldn't put it together now that you say that, why they were saying he was saying things about us in Kentucky. Now
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. And it's crazy because Trump's, when I listen to a couple Trump interviews, it's like, well, he's going to be able to, resonate with the Midwest. He'll resonate with the farmers. He'll resonate. No, the fuck he's not. He's a silicone. He is a Republican version of, he is highbrow as fuck. He is very intellectual. He's not a blue collar guy. He's a tech guy. And guess what? And he's boring. Did you see his speech where he's trying to make jokes and nobody's laughing?
Yeah, it was quiet.
I didn't watch that GOP convention. I didn't watch it.
No, it wasn't a GOP convention. It was just last week. It was just this past week where he went out there and was trying to crack jokes, and he's talking about he drinks Diet Mountain Dew, and he's laughing at his own fucking jokes.
And nobody said nothing. Nobody applaud or laugh.
No, they're there because you're tied to Trump. They don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's okay, because guess what? whoever Kamala Harris picks, and he has to debate them, look out for him saying the same stuff Trump says in a more articulate way. That's what he's there for. Because Trump is all about white pale man's grievances. What's wrong? Everything that a WASP, a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, has to bitch and complain about, Trump is there and he has a megaphone and he's screaming it. And JD Vance is going to be the person to say it in the nicest, more articulate way.
Yeah. And it's just these rallies and stuff that they're having, like, it's just the dude. You're not sitting up there talking about policies. And one of the dudes up there that's a Republican was interviewing on in NBC, says, can we talk about some policies? I'm tired of hearing about Kamala Trump, Kamala, they say Kamala Harris's husband and kids, and her, showing clips of her dancing with the young people and all that kind of stuff. When are we going to start hearing about some policies, and stuff like that?
You're not, because they have none.
Right. This DEI situation. The other lady said, yeah, I'm tired of hearing about that as well. Like,
yeah,
like,
Trump,
we all know that she's qualified for the job. Like, so stop it.
Yeah. Yeah, because they have no policies. Trump's idea of policy is attack and attack and attack.
Mm-hmm.
They let him slide, especially, and this pissed me off with black folks when he said back in June that they're pouring out of insane assignments. They're rapists, they're drug dealers, they're murderers, right. And they're coming from Mexico. They're coming from the here and there, and he mentions Africa.
Sure did. He talking about, and no, that ain't true.
Now, which is bullshit, because going back to our people, I'm starting to hear them parakeet and repeat stuff that the Republicans say. Oh, they letting them people come in and giving them green cards and food stamps and places to live. Well, they're not getting green cards. They're getting something. Depends on how they got here and why they're here. Yes, there's been a lot of asylum seekers. Asylum seekers are not illegal. People who sneak under the fence and cross the border, they're illegal. If you live in Brazil and you're tired of fucking dudes and Jeeps and AK-47s driving by your house and they're threatening to take your daughter so she can work at a whorehouse, you're going to pack up and leave and run to America. Because they ain't going to ship you back as long as you come, you do what you're supposed to do, you report to, and you work to become a citizen. That's how that works. But when we got that asshole down in Texas, and we got that asshole in Florida, right? There's laws that says when you come seek asylum, you go through a process, they get your information, and they track you. You go through a courts. There's a whole, and you stay with somebody. There's a whole system in place. Those are not illegals.
Mm-hmm. But their thing is they don't even want them here. They don't
No.
People, life is threatening. Your kids is about to get cut up in pieces. They don't care nothing about that. They don't want you, and know you in a bad way. They don't want you in this country regardless.
No, they don't.
Right? That being said, this is my whole thing. Excuse me, but the United States, you white people that are here, you come from Poland, Ireland, all over, and the other Australia. Your history dates back to there. So your ancestors came over here, evidently, as asylum seekers themselves for a better life. Now, all of a sudden, everybody else is the minority, and we shouldn't be here, but you should be here. You come from foreign lands as well, white people.
Well, remember, we're dealing with a people whose philosophy is straight up do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah.
Because I study history. I remember what the war with Great Britain was about. Mm-hmm. Right? Y'all were revolutionaries. You didn't want to be overtaxed by a king who's way over across the water, not putting in no work, not sending anything here. Mm-hmm. Americans, the people who came and took over this country from the Native Americans and the indigenous people, they fought England so they could not go through tyranny. They didn't want a king, right?
Right.
So you guys are fucking immigrants.
Right. That's what I said. Like,
But here's the
how
thing.
dare you march in white hoodies talking about and hanging black people and having a problem with Hispanic people coming over here in present time when you did that. You understand?
But here's the thing. This is what you got to remember about the Pale Man. The white Anglo-Saxon Protestants, right? The pure Pale Man. He hates the Italian, right? Remember when the Italians came? He treated them like shit. Right?
Yep.
When the Scottish came, they got treated like shit. When the Irish came, they got treated like shit. Jews didn't get declared as white people until what, the 50s?
Right. Yeah.
They were treated like niggas.
Yep.
Why do you think when Trump was president in Charlottesville and they were walking with hoods and tiki torches against blacks and who else?
Jews.
The Jews.
Yep.
Because they don't see Jews as pure white people. They see them as other. Mm-hmm. We look at everybody, all y'all pale skin, all y'all crackers. That's how we see it. Right. But in their own look, that's the stuff that black people don't know that's actually going on because we only see what we see. Them motherfuckers over there killing each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
The people that support Trump don't like nobody but them. If you ain't one of them, it's a problem.
And you can change your name, and they're not doing no reason. They not doing no and you can change your name and say I don't want to be Jewish no more, and be right with them, and they wouldn't even know it. You understand? Unless you got the features, that Jewish people have, they you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna even talk about QAnon and all these different cults that when I was younger, and I remember the cults I remember as a young person is David Koresh and shit like that. It was more along the lines of people believing in God and their God and all that kind of thing. Drinking the Kool-Aid, and I'm like, damn, what all these people sit up there and follow this man and drink and just kill themselves? That was my idea of a cult. The cults today, oh yeah, no, it's on a whole nother level.
So look at it this way:
theory.
Jim Jones had everybody drink a bunch of Kool-Aid and shit, right?
Right.
He had everybody go and sip from a cup. What happened at the RNC? Everybody came in and they started taping goddamn patches, the white thing on the air like Trump.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. What did Trump get? Yeah, and what did Trump supposedly get shot by? An AR-15, right?
Right.
He get shot.
They had a raffle. They had a raffle for 3 AR-15s 2 days after he got shot by one. Supposedly got shot. Right? Then, if that wasn't enough, they were taking off the normal lapel pins off their garments and replacing them with ARs, little AR emblems.
What?
It is the cultish shit you've ever seen.
What kind of shit is that? And that's
like an assembly line.
That's supposed to be Christian values?
Well, it's the same. I mean, you got to remember. What do you think they learned it from? What did Jesus die on? Right? He died on the cross. Everybody wears a cross. It's the same thing. That tells you they look at it. And then they're talking about that God sent them. What do you think QAnon is built on? QAnon's main philosophy is that the Democratic Party and the liberals are a bunch of rapists, murderers, baby eaters. Yep. They rape the babies and then they bathe in their blood to stay alive forever. This is QAnon.
That is crazy. They had Hillary Clinton down in Pizzagate. When I had to do some research, I'm like, so y'all really think that Hillary Clinton, this man got a pizza. Imagine you having a business. You in the business making your pizza, trying to get your ends together. It's a decent business, and and the FBI come busting through there talking about Hillary Clinton got kids in the basement of your business. You stab people in the store eating their pizza. Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Pizzagate. They
Yeah, because
actually had people, and that one dude filmed himself driving across the country. He was a good distance away, good 7-8 hours away, driving to Pizzagate to this pizza restaurant, and filming it, talking about, I want to apologize and I want to say I love you to me. I don't know if he got killed or if he's still in jail, but this motherfucker went up in the pizza spot and just started shooting. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. These motherfuckers
It's-
is crazy. That's when I started doing my research on QAnon. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
and QAnon is definitely in our military.
yep.
There's actual
Yep.
footage and there's actual photos where you could see their soldiers with the Q on their flak jackets and on their vests and on their stuff. And because it's a philosophy. Now, here's the thing. Who's Q? Has anybody ever seen him?
No.
No. Just think that there's tens of thousands of people all over the country that are retweeting, that are literally posting stuff that this person, we don't know who he is because he says he's going to remain in the shadows because Trump was sent by God to remove the baby rapers and killers and y'all going to tell me this ain't a cult?
Yeah, it's past. I don't even know if cold is the word
And-
anymore.
Hey,
Sickness.
I
And
will
what did
say
Trump
this.
do the other day? He retweeted 8 QAnon things.
Wow.
He posted them on his shit, on that little True Social shit that's tanking.
I don't know what
Like-
to say about this world we're living in now. We living in some times, man. The people cults, and that's devil worshiping. That is not of you want to put that's not of God. That is not of God.
They are talking about him like he is God.
And he don't even exist.
And you know, this is the dude that stood for all you religious people who are still trying to figure out who to vote for. This is the dude that tear gassed a bunch of goddamn protesters that was standing in front of a church or near a church just so he can go out there and stand for a photo op with a Bible
I do
upside
remember
down.
that.
Remember that with the Bible upside down?
I
remember that.
The fact that intelligent people that you would, we talking about teachers, you got doctors out there, you got military people that was at the Capitol on January 6th. The fact that intelligent people, regardless of their nationality, that still supports the shit that this dude does is, to me, mind blowing. Like, this dude told y'all, and my boss was one of them. We had a debate again. This is right before Biden stepped down. Told y'all to inject bleach. I'm sorry, to get.
Yeah.
Every time I try to say it, I bust out laughing. to get rid of the virus. And you support, at some point, if I was a Republican or a Trump supporter, I would be like, okay, I can't. With my common sense would be like, nah, I can't rock with this dude.
That alone.
Done. Now, before I try to give somebody, see, people in the hills and in the mountains and shit, they don't know the Trump that we know until he ran for president. Every now and again, Trump would surface because he say outlandish shit. Because to be honest with you, he always wanted to be a rock star. He always wanted to be a celebrity, right? Most billionaires, they usually be, they're known because they're billionaires, but they be kind of low key. They ain't trying to be all in front of cameras and shit or whatever, right? This dude have scammed. He didn't broke the law long before he became president. So when he was running for office, I said, oh no, they're gonna do a background check on this dude and be like, nah, he can't. And so when he won, I was like, wait a minute, are you crazy? This dude have scammed and got so many lawsuits for scamming people at the Trump University.
Oh my God.
He's charging people. It's not funny. He's charging people thousands of dollars to learn how to be a millionaire and wind up scamming all them people for years. And this is who you want to be, a crook over here sitting up here, started with his father. He comes from it. Back in the 60s when his father would not allow That's why he has a big problem with Department of Justice, because the Department of Justice pulled up a chair and had a seat in his daddy's ass back in the 60s. And ever since then, he has always had an issue with the Department of Justice. They came after him when when he was. I don't know how he got around not going to jail for scamming all them people. That was around the time when Madoff went to jail for scamming people. In some kind of a way, this dude has gotten out of all kinds of scams and crooked shit. And so when he became president, I said, "Oh, that's just gonna give him the facts of this. The only reason Trump wants to be president is so that he can pardon himself and clear his. So he still got shit in Georgia.
That's all it is.
His ass. That's the only reason. He don't give a damn about the United States."
Yep.
Here's the thing: if Kamala wins this election, I wonder what will the QAnon people, all these Trump supporters, going to do if Trump lose again? What the first thing they're going to do?
Do you know that Biden has the power to say, "You have broken these federal laws. You're going to jail"?
He got to pay. Biden got immunity.
He has the power to do that. He of course he's not going to do it. But now Kamala Harris, on the other hand, if I was Trump, I would be very, very nervous on the fact that she was even a prosecutor on top of all of that. Man, this is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be crazy. So, anything else? Because we could do a whole show on this idiot. Anything else in the news that we want to talk about? I want to talk about this dude. Here I go with because I write stuff down on all pieces of paper and I can't find the dude. And Darius, you might know what I'm talking about. The dude that was getting ready to walk his tail out of jail and got to the door. He had a new outfit and everything. His wife was out there waiting on him, and the judge and the senator pulled back and said, "No, we need more time." What story was that? Did you get it? They had it on that. I seen the interview. I forgot to do. I need to have better information. Did y'all hear that story?
No, that one flew under my radar.
I think it was Ohio. Who was it? I'm gonna post it, and when I get more information. But the judge, they said he was wrongly accused. They had proof and all of that. And then next thing you know, when it came, they go, one of those. He had been in jail good almost 20 years, and then they at the last minute. So he's still in jail right now as we speak. I'm gonna get the information on that. That's my bag. I don't have my notes in front of me about that story. It's a black guy, and I want to say it was Ohio or something like that. Darius, I got to get the information, but I wanted to touch on that story. That's ridiculous, and it's during an election year. It has something to do with the election as well. This judge and this senator that said no, we need some more time, so he had to go back into jail. He was getting ready. You can process out, you do your paperwork, your wife is out there waiting on you. They waited to the absolute last minute and told him nope. And kept this black man from leaving jail. So I will get the information on that and make sure I post that. Y'all got any more stories that we need to talk about before we get up out of here?
Darius?
Yeah, the Sonia Massey case. The shooting happened July 6th. The video didn't come out till Tuesday. And this woman also, I think this came out and said she thought there was an intruder at her house or apartment complex. Mm-hmm. Police came out there, freed her. And then when she said, and she was near her kitchen with the boiling water, no gun at all.
Right.
And she said the words, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." That's what set that officer off.
Wow.
Talk about, you better not say that again. And then shot her.
That's crazy.
Like, what?
What is it against the law to invoke Jesus? Like, so where's the dude at?
And the officer, he got first degree, I think, murder charges. And as far as I know, I don't know when that trial's going to start, but I do know this: he needs to be in jail for a long time for that.
You think you're gonna get it?
And yeah, and they had the body cams on. They were all the other, and he was laughing about it afterwards. I said, this world we in today.
He was laughing.
The whole videos, it was all over Facebook, Instagram, the
I
body
seen
cam
parts of
footage.
it. Yeah, I seen parts of it.
Yeah, the DA did the right thing. The police chief did the right thing. He was fired. Police chief came out and said this was way worse than any mistake. The DA charged his name is Sean Grayson, and he got
Yeah,
charged with murder, aggravated assault, and battery with a firearm, and official misconduct. This whole thing was just ridiculous to me. You tell her to go deal with the pot that's boiling. She grabs it, and that's your excuse for shooting her.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, because I rebuke you, you had every option to back up. If you thought you can't use the defense of, I was afraid that she was going to douse me with boiling water because she, you know, rebuked me in the name of Jesus. So, of course, she's throwing some holy water at me. So you want to use that defense. Back up. She's way across the room. If she
yeah,
came charging at him, that's one thing. But she just was holding it. And then you failed to render aid. The other motherfuckers, she gone, bro. You ain't no sense of doing that.
What? Oh no.
So it's just a mess, man. Lock this piece of shit up. Give him the time. Illinois, do the right thing. Um, I'm happy that the police
and then
chief.
they covered it up, for so long until the video came out. The son was talking about what happened.
Yeah, because it takes a minute. Depends on how the city wants to fight. They had to get their shit together. Because think about it, we're looking at through body cam, and once we hear that a black woman gets shot by a police officer, the news media and the civil rights activists in that area has to file paperwork to get access to that footage. The city can drag that. They can delay it as long as they want. They got to the point where they couldn't hold it out no more. So it came out, they saw it, and all the news media ran with it. And it became a national news story now. So, yeah, why didn't y'all fire him? Wait, it took the news to come out with it. It took a reporter to file paperwork to get access to the videotape for them to want to take action against this cop. So look at it this way. After he shot her, that motherfucker still ran around for a couple weeks.
Mm, mm.
He just got indicted a week ago. So he had
So
a
what
whole
does that
two,
tell you
three
about our
weeks.
system?
No, but hey, that's Illinois. This ain't the first time. This ain't gonna be the
Uh,
last time. That
oh
whole
no.
shit need to be gutted. And
I
it's
think it's
it's
go ahead.
no we. This is why voting is important.
It is.
That's why I don't want Josh Shapiro to go anywhere because I already know he is a former attorney general, just like Kamala Harris was, and he is into locking goofy ass cops up. That's who you should be voting for. Dirty cops. Meanwhile, Trump said the other day that cops should be getting full immunity.
All immunity. That's what I said. Oh no. Oh no. You shoot something. That means this dude that if Trump was in office, this dude right, it would be all out season on black people. They be getting shot and nothing would be happening to them. What kind of that's crazy. That's not even dictatorship. That's craziness. There is
Mm-hmm.
this is the story that came up. I'm reading it now, but the one that y'all was talking about. But there was this other story that I want to share real quick. This black man who spent 44 years in prison before he was exonerated, gets $25 million settlement. Initially, they wanted to give him a $3 million, but a black man in North Carolina who spent 44 years in prison after he was wrongly convicted of raping a prominent, they don't list who she is, white woman, wrongly convicted, has been awarded 25 million, a historic $25 million settlement more than 3 years after he was exonerated. So he got it. This dude, Ronnie Long, was 68 years old. He'd been in jail for 44 years for raping somebody. You get murderers get out within 20 years. He is 68 years old now, raping a white woman. On top of that, a prominent white woman. I don't know who this white woman was, and I'm gonna do some. I don't know if I can find out, do some more research. He was in his 20s, 44 years. The city of Concord, about 20 miles northeast of Charlotte, for $22 million, wanted to settle. The city said in a news release Tuesday, North Carolina State Bureau of Investigations had previously settled for $3 million. He's like, no, that ain't enough. His attorney was like, no, that ain't it, for 44 years. And the dude has been telling you all this time he's innocent. They found the proof. According to Duke Law School, see these law schools, he was wrongly convicted. 44 years for raping a prominent white woman. That's the stuff I'm talking about. You could rape a white, she'd have been black, he'd have got 10 years. If that. It's the big, after he got there, $25 million. It's obviously a celebratory day for knowing that Ronnie is going to have his needs met for the rest of his life with this settlement. It's been a long road to get to this point. So this is after he was exonerated. So that's a great outcome. However, that's not enough. We obviously, amount of money will never compensate Ronnie for all the years that he was locked up. You think?
Why do you think I called double stare in America?
Yeah, it is. And this is what my message to black people, you think Trump or somebody like that is going to change something like that? I don't see Trump. This is one dude he should have been trying to pardon in 44 years. Yeah, no.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Hey, I found your story you were talking about earlier.
Okay. I was trying to find it too, and I forgot I had this story to tell also.
This is the story of Christopher Dunn. The Missouri Supreme Court halted the immediate release Wednesday of a man whose murder conviction was overturned just as the man was about to walk free. St. Louis Circuit Court judge had ordered Christopher Dunn, now 52 years old, to be released at 6 p.m. on this past Wednesday, and threatened the prison warden with contempt if Dunn remained in prison. But the Republican Attorney General, Andrew Bailey, has been fighting Dunn's release. So, and the wife goes on to say she was on her way to pick him up.
Yep. Had got him a new suit. He got up out of that uniform. He had to take off that suit and put back on his uniform. His prison uniform.
So at this point, he is being held hostage. And this prison warden is listening to the Attorney General instead of doing his job. So this guy is on the verge of getting locked up. This prison warden. This poor dude is being held hostage. So now this dude, not only does he have a civil suit in the making where he's going to get paid for every day since it got overturned, he's going to sue the state, and he also now has a lawsuit that he can file against the warden directly.
Yep.
Because he's a hostage. He is not a prisoner at this point. He is a hostage.
Yep. Now he about to get paid. But the fact that you sitting up there all that time, went through the judicial system, get released, you good, and then these motherfuckers come back and take it away and keep you in jail. Yeah.
And this is the Attorney General of Missouri, who is course, a white Republican piece of dog shit.
Why do you think, Hakim, that he's doing that? Political reasons? Like
Yeah,
why?
because he has his own aspirations and he wants to look like he's tough on crime. All attorney generals do some messed up stuff, so they look tough because they want to get reelection, or they have their eyes on the governor's seat, or they have their eyes on the Senate. When you're the attorney general, you only got two directions. You can either run for governor, or you can run for a senator seat. You're not going to run for a house rep unless you playing a long game. You're going to run for a senator seat because it's more powerful than a house seat.
Right.
So this guy has aspirations, and so yeah, because he could just let that fucking guy out. It's not going to kill him, but you got to also look at it as the good old boys who think that this dude should not be getting out. They don't care what no court say, so he's serving them. White supremacy is, I remember Brother Khalid Muhammad from Nation Islam. He once said on Phil Donahue's show that they don't wear hoods anymore. They wear suits and run for elected office.
That's right. They done got smart. Yep. We can change laws and we can do a whole bunch more than out here chanting in these streets. They all up in the police department. Yeah. They running for sheriff and all of that.
Yeah, because the people who are in charge of these movements, they are, while you in the bed rolling around with your wife at night, they are up trying to figure out ways to take this country back to the goddamn 40s and 50s. Yeah. Right? All you got to do is look at what they're saying. What did they say the whole week? Another story, the Secret Service director, she resigned.
Yep. Yeah.
And
business, boy.
Yeah, Democrats and Republicans. Because I said it, I've been saying it for the last week. If this was a staged event, then everybody who was on that Secret Service detail should be fired.
Right.
And the goddamn Secret Service director should be fired, because that means Secret Service was complicit in this event to make Donald Trump look like a martyr.
Right.
If this was a real assassination attempt, they still should be fired because they were fucking up all the way through. There's no way an assassination attempt is happening and you got a former president sticking their fists up in the goddamn air.
Right. That's right. I was looking at him. You're supposed to yank, regardless of what he said, you're supposed to yank his ass off the stage.
There is no way you're stopping because he says, "Hold on, let me put my shoes on."
Right. Right. That's what I'm talking about. I'm like, wait a minute. This look like some stuff Donald Trump done conjured up on his show. That's crazy.
There's no way.
Supposedly somebody died. So somebody got to be fired, and it starts all the way up at the top, right?
Yeah.
To include the fact that she's a woman, you got to look at that too. And we have a woman vice president. All that came to play right before it already had been whispers that it's a possibility that at the same time the news story was Kamala Harris is over at the out being in front of the cameras more. It was speculation at that time. Here's a woman director over the Secret Service, and we got a woman VP that may run for president, and boom. That she would it all runs together.
Well, it started before that, because remember the day after the shooting, well, actually that night, the Republicans were calling up the Fox News, right? They were literally saying this DIY hire or whatever the fuck.
DEI.
DEI hire, and they were calling her a DEI hire.
Yeah.
Because she's only got this job because she's a woman. Never mind that she's been in the Secret Service for 25 years and worked her way up. Mm-hmm. The people under her failed her. And when you're in that kind of position, you have to take the hit because you're in charge.
But with the part that people are not getting is she was appointed by Biden. Biden put her in that position.
Yeah. And so and that's the narrative they've been running before even Biden even got out. A week before they got out, he's appointing DIY hires. And now what they're calling Kamala. You know, I watched on Fox News, they literally said that she's the original Hawk 2 girl. That's how she got where she's at.
The Hawk 2? What's a Hawk 2?
You didn't?
Okay. I know what you're talking about. Okay. I didn't hear that.
They called it a Hawk 2 girl. The other dude on Fox and Friends, their morning show, with that goofy ass black man sitting on the end, watching these 3 white pale people talk shit about black people.
Yeah.
They were critiquing Kamala Harris because she went to the remember the Prime Minister of Israel. He came and did a joint session in Congress.
Yes.
The other day, where he had the House and the Senate, and he's sitting there talking shit in front of them.
Right.
She didn't attend.
Right.
And they were criticizing. They said Biden drops out, and she didn't even give it a full five days before she started fucking up because she didn't attend this joint session. She's somewhere in the summertime going to some colored sorority. Now, when he said that,
he used the word colored.
Yup. When he said that, everybody dug in his ass. He comes out with a statement saying, I didn't say colored, I said college sorority. Now, I don't watch that thing 15 fucking times. College don't sound like colored.
No. What is that on? I want to see that. Can I watch it? I can watch anything.
Go Google Fox News colored sorority.
Okay.
Right? And you can watch it, and he's saying, I said college, and then the people on the set are coming out with the oh no, he didn't say that. I was right there with him. He said college. That motherfucker lying.
You was watching
and yeah, no, I mean, when the clip hit, because I saw Roland Martin tweet about it, and I said, let me go investigate. And I went and watched it for myself. I said, oh, this motherfucker lying. So then, as think about it, you got to look at it critically and logically. White people don't understand their versions of fraternities don't happen in the summertime. Ours do. Mm-hmm. Our events happen in the summertime. She went to Howard University. She's a part of a black sorority. She went to the Divine Nine function.
Right. But she would have did VP anyway.
She would have did no. This had nothing to do with VP. This was Kamala. She went to go attend her event it's a part of her history, a part of her connection to the black community, to the black college system, to the black sorority system. Right? And they're critiquing her for that and saying how's she gonna be president when she didn't even attend the Prime Minister of Israel? Because she had it on the books.
Yeah, she's gonna do a one-on-one with him.
Exactly, which was 2 days later. Right. It made no sense for her to be there because she already had a meeting with him on the books.
Right, exactly. But of course, they're going to take that and run with it.
Yup, and it backfired.
Yep.
It backfired because now he has to answer to so many people and he has to keep explaining himself. So the point you were trying to get out failed. So now you're sitting there repeating yourself about something that had nothing to do with your major point. Right. See how racism can blow back sometimes with the right amount of people calling it out and going apeshit on it?
And telling the actual facts of what happened?
Yeah. But black people, let me say this. If you don't want to vote for, that's on you. Mm-hmm. But what y'all got to stop doing is you got to stop coming up with these narratives and repeating shit that the Republicans create and put out there and y'all run with it. Her bent over the table, in a thong.
Did you see
that? Biden behind the desk. Yeah. And I saw it first over in the white media Republican side. They created it and goofy and goofy black people are running with it. And it's the men. Wow. Right? Then the other thing is, Trump's calling her garbage. He called her dumb as a box of rocks the other day.
Sure did.
Called her an idiot.
Yep.
So they can't talk about policy. So they name call like it's fucking high school.
That's what I said. These are grown ass men. Why are you calling people names?
And it's
And the crowd is amping it up. Like, okay.
I'm I'm in Instagram jail right now on my main page because I
In jail.
got into a back and forth with a brother who's talking about she don't even consider herself black.
Yep. That's another one.
Oh,
By me too. In the
And
shoebox talk, I'm like, okay.
I said,
First
wait,
of
wait,
all,
let me make sure let me make sure I understood this right. So this woman, that we got actual footage of her at the black cookouts.
yeah.
We got actual footage because they want to talk about she got a white man. Okay, well, what about the dude who actually brought her out on the national stage? Remember
William.
Montel, the TV Montel Williams,
William.
the TV series?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
first time we ever heard her name mentioned was she was his girlfriend, and he had
Oh.
her on a red carpet
Oh. Okay.
before she even was in. But when she was just a DA, she was date. She went to Howard University. You don't get no blacker than that.
Right.
She went to the goddamn Divine Nine. So the white man is complaining that she decided to go to a all black sorority event that the most powerful black women in the world are going to,
But she ain't black.
and the brothers are saying she don't declare herself black.
Cause
You
she
want
was
to
white.
talk about stupid?
Yeah. Yeah. Black
What
people.
her?
Oh,
What does her choice of what color penis have to do with what she's going to do in the White House?
Exactly. Exactly. All of that stuff. What does that have to do with her policies and all this kind of? She's liberal. She this and whatever. Who she's not. She don't got no kids. She's with a white man and all this kind. What does that have to?
Because
They don't get that same energy with all these men that they, all these black men that got these white women. Was my point.
JD Vance said if you don't have kids, you shouldn't have the same rights as the people that do have kids. He called AOC. He called Pete Buttigieg. Think about it. He cited Pete Buttigieg, Kamala Harris, and AOC. He said these are the people who are running the country, and they're goddamn cat ladies, childless cat ladies. So now you taking shots at the gay dude, calling him a cat lady with the women. So it's just good old boy shit.
Yeah. And a lot
Good
of
old
people
boy shit.
kind of shrugging it off like, oh, we expected that. But I mean, come on, man.
So
That's
for the women out there and the men out there who hasn't made a kid, you're going to tell me that y'all okay with not having the same rights as us, the rest of us who have kids?
yeah. I don't have kids, and I'm not okay with that.
So, but this is the kind of weirdo
Oh, I see
shit that's
Kamala.
happening.
I see Kamala and Montel Williams. You sure enough, right? That was back in the
Yeah.
day. Look at Kamala.
I think
Mm-hmm.
was it early
Got her
2000s?
eyebrows arched and everything.
Yeah. Because when I found out about it when she was running for Senate, and I said, okay, that's that. And I did my research on her because remember, we were trying to keep track of how many Democratic senators we're going to have,
Yeah,
and her history popped up, and I said, okay, good. I don't care. Listen, y'all need to stop listening to that damn Dr. Umar too,
yeah.
because he is literally going on a press run. He is going on a press run with his ridiculousness. I get it. He's a broke clock that's right twice a day for me. You know, because he's going to tell you certain things about child psychology. It's cool. Ask Dr. Umar, since y'all like to talk to him. Ask him why Philadelphia fired him out of the school system.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ask him why the attorney
His
general.
own school.
Yeah, he's been building that school. This is the second time he's tried to build the school. He's a grifter. He's the black Donald Trump. And the part that y'all don't understand, yes, he talks that black power stuff, and I understand it. Most of the stuff that he says in regards to black history be on point. But he's using that to push a narrative to blow his image up so he can keep taking donations. Ask him why the Attorney General of Pennsylvania, I'm sorry, said you can no longer take donations in the state of Pennsylvania.
Because he
Because
ain't built that school yet.
because no, that's not it. It's you ain't even got your paperwork right. So if I donate $100, I'm supposed to be able to put that on my taxes. And the IRS man said, no, you can't because that's not he ain't got his shit right. You just gave a nigga money. You didn't give a corporation money. You didn't give a nonprofit money.
Wow.
Because remember, when you donate, traditionally you want to donate cash to an organization that you can get something back. So when you do your taxes, you claim it on your taxes.
That's right. That's right.
When you do it with the church, at the end of the year, if you pay your tithes at the end of the year, you go to your church and you get it. Mm-hmm. If you donate to a HBCU, you're supposed to get it. You donate to a local organization helping kids, you are supposed to get a receipt back. He couldn't do it because he didn't have all his shit together. So while he's running around talking about crushing cookies, talking about five thick in the thighs, when he's sitting there talking about why you bunny hopping and leave white girls alone, and come on, man.
Right.
And he's attacking Kamala Harris because this guy says that you can't be taken seriously as a black revolutionary if you are entertaining white folks. And I mean entertaining, I mean you're dating or fucking or having babies with. Mm-hmm. Now, if that's your philosophy, then you are all fucked up.
Yeah, because you're gonna need. You see, your dad who you sleeping with and doing all that has nothing to do with donors giving you money so you can build a school for to do something with. Money don't got no kind of nationality. You know what I mean? Money is money. Man. So you're cutting yourself in half. You might have some prominent companies that want to, if you thinking, that's going to be able to give you money to build your school, and for you not to have your stuff together in order for these people to report that they gave you a tax notice for a tax break because that's why they give it. I'd rather give you $1 million than pay $2 million to Uncle Sam. You know.
Yep.
It's just that's how these mega churches come out. I'd rather give you these millions, give it to do something with it, great, go feed the hungry, change the water in Flint, whatever you got to do. But I need a receipt that I gave you this money so the IRS can stay out of my tail. So I don't have to
it's a system.
It's real simple.
It's a system.
That's the ignorant stuff I hear black people. Oh, such and such pastor this and he that. He's getting these mega churches came up because millionaires donate to them so they don't have to pay so they can get a tax break. But of course, that's not you don't. It's a level of ignorance if you don't know that. So, I don't know what to say. We have had show after show about us and our thought process and how we just not gonna do all that research. We just don't do that. Whatever we see, we believe. We ain't finna go and back in the day when we had to go to the library and research stuff. Now you ain't even got to do that. And black folks ain't. And it's just like you say with social media. If it come up on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, it's exactly the truth.
If it wasn't for social media, we wouldn't have a Donald Trump. If it wasn't for social media,
say that for the people in the back.
There are people who I personally know who I watch scam people every day on social media because all you got to be once upon a time, for you to be an expert at something, you had to know your shit. Mm-hmm. Not only did you have to have the book knowledge, you had to have you had to be able to do it, knowing it and doing it, knowledge, wisdom. Right? Now, all you got to do is fake it. And people will eat it up. Mm-hmm. They will follow you. They'll support you. They'll come to your events. They'll buy your little goddamn books. They'll buy your little services. And you don't know your ass from your elbow. Nope. But you look like you do.
Right. Because you own some casinos. First of all, it's not documented that Donald Trump is a billionaire, so stop with the madness. Stop with the madness. But he wants you to believe he know how to make it. He came into the business as a billionaire with his daddy's money and freaked off almost all of that.
Well,
So
yeah, he was a think about it.
he was.
What dad gave him? What dad gave him 250 million, and he fucked that up.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and then him and his brothers and his sister stole the grandkids' inheritance, and they had to sue them to get that back. So y'all share wasn't enough. You had to steal the kids' shares too.
Yeah.
And the kids had to sue them to get that back. That's why you see fucking Mary Trump on CNN
Yeah.
and
She wrote a book
MSNBC
about
every
it.
chance she get.
Yep.
Yeah,
And she gets. Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Ain't nobody listening to her. Now she just don't like Donald Trump. She's a hater. She this. She when I brought that up when they're talking to one of Donald Trump's supporters, they defend him even though he did that. That's
Man,
crazy.
it don't
So
matter.
crazy.
Some people are just ignorance comes in two ways or three. One, you don't know. Two, you don't give a shit. And three, you're just too stupid to understand. The people who work my nerves the most are the people who don't give a shit because they ignore the facts. That's all ignorance is. They're ignoring the facts. You can sit there and show them a video of him calling Africa, Jamaica, and Caribbean shithole countries. They don't care. You can tell them how he said he wants to give immunity and show them the video. He wants to get cops immunity as they out here shooting us. They don't care because they're caught up in the hype and the personality. He's a cult of personality guy.
Yeah.
They like his swag. They like the way he talks shit. They like how his comebacks and his little one-liners and his name calling because they can resonate with that goofy ass shit.
Ignorant.
Because that
you a grown ass 70, about to be 80-year-old man. Why are you standing up calling another grown person all kinds of names?
Because you got to remember, the Republican Party. The Republican Party is supposed to be the manhood party. They're the ones who are tough on crime. They are the aggressive.
Republicans don't care.
That's where we see them talking about Putin is a real man. I watched the whole goddamn NBC series where they're asking MAGA guys, why do you like Russia? Because Putin's strong. You see he out there fishing with no shirt on in cold Russia? He's a real man. Right?
Yeah.
He's a real man. And it's like, that's why they talk tough. Remember Tucker Carlson before he left Fox, where he got fired, shall I say, put out a whole documentary on the Fox app talking about manhood. And it was a dude with blonde hair and blue eyes in the video, ripped and cut with no goddamn clothes on, saying we have to become men again. We were too feminized. The men are supposed to get up and work, and the women are supposed to be in the kitchen. They're trying to bring it back to the fucking 40s and the 50s. Why? And it goes back to them calling that white Secret Service director a whatchamacallit hire.
A DEI.
A DEI hire. So not only is black people
Biden put her in office, Biden put Kamala in office. He's weak and he's old and he's about to die.
So if you are a Democrat, and the crazy part is that woman I think is a Republican.
Is she?
Biden put her there because her resume checked out.
Right.
It should have worked. But when the people below you drop the ball, in the corporate world as well in government, when something catastrophic happens under you, you take the hit. That's the way it is. You're supposed to resign.
I was like, dang, were they talking crazy?
Yeah. My issue with her is she should have been resigned. She should have resigned that Monday morning. Because all you did is made yourself look bad. You made Biden look bad. Because remember, Secret Service is still watching over the Obamas. They're still watching over their kids. So if it happened to Trump, it can happen to them too.
That's right.
Because Bush is sitting back going, "Oh shit." You know what I mean? George Bush is going, oh shit. His kids is going, oh shit. Oh, because when you leave the White House, you still, for the rest of your days, get that Secret Service protection.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yep. So,
All right.
well, we have anything else?
We got a lot of comments here. I want to knock them out real quick. Tashawn Cortez says, hey, over on YouTube.
Hey, Tashawn.
Lancey Gates on Facebook says the
Hey.
system is done. Make way for the matriarchal. This patriarchal BS never worked. I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
He also says, let's talk about getting our land back. Good topic.
Yeah. Yeah.
La Tanya says, good morning.
Good morning.
Jeffrey
Morning.
Saunders says, I think she should pick Senator Kelly. He has a military background and is a former astronaut, and white people eat that kind of shit up. You know what? That is a great suggestion. I can ride with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, him and his wife been through a lot. And then he would definitely be strong on guns and stuff because of his wife. They got stuff going on with that.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. The gun association don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Saunders also said, too bad he missed. Some reference to the sniper.
Could you imagine if he had a hit? This dude would have been dead. Oh, that would have been it. This world would have been United. These crazy people would have burned down the United States. Yeah.
But just he just reminded me of something. The director of the FBI testified in regards to how's his investigation going with the Trump shooting.
Mm-hmm.
He on Thursday he said that we don't know if that was a bullet or shrapnel.
Right.
Yeah.
And Trump's medical information is being withheld. He's not releasing it.
Yep.
He threatened the people that tended to him to not release the medical information. So that tells me everything I need.
Mm-hmm. That it was
not a bullet. It was not a bullet.
No.
And then there was also talk.
Interviewing that if it was that close to the ear, he should have had something in his head. His hair should have been some kind of skin should have been in. It was not just too close to the head.
And the goofy idiot himself said that there was something up. A lot of people who were there, they said that they saw the teleprompter get hit. Trump called into Fox and said there was something hanging up that got hit. So it wasn't the bullet that grazed him. It was a piece of glass from the goddamn thing that got hit. So people saying it, Trump saying it, then what are we talking about? He didn't get shot because the Fox and the Republicans in Congress are running with the narrative that he got shot for democracy.
He didn't get shot for democracy.
I heard it 6 times.
That doctor was saying with the kind of gun that they're saying, this dude, this little 20-year-old had, his whole ear should have been gone, half of his face.
Half the side of his head would have been gone. Because Trump's ears don't stick out like fucking Martin's. It's
Obama's ears stick.
Yeah. Those shit stuck to the side of his ear like fucking, he got pig ears like me, so I know. They stuck to the side of like somebody stapled our fucking ears to the side of our heads. It would have tore the side of his fucking head up. He got grazed by glass. And I can't wait for that to come out because you know it's coming out.
Yep.
All right, back to the comments. Chloe's World 2011 over on YouTube says because it's the money he brings with him, he has military backing and bringing their money to Trump. I believe that's in regard to JD Vance. Jeffrey Saunders again says, and white Australians came from Europe and took the land from the original black Aboriginal people. Very true. MAGA Republicans and radical MAGA Republicans and the radical, ridiculous right are not true Christians.
Right.
He also says, I remember when Q was just the name of the character on Star Trek Next Generation. Hey, it wouldn't surprise me if that's where he stole it from.
Now, see
Um,
there, and I like Star. I'm a Trekkie.
yeah,
He's
and
so right about that.
Q was one of my favorite characters on Star Trek.
Sure enough.
He also says, I heard about that story. Circuit Court overturned his conviction, but then the state Supreme Court overturned the Circuit Court decision and kept the guy in prison.
Right. Sure did.
If the cops got full immunity, then this would literally become a police state. Yes, indeed. We're already there.
Yeah.
We're already there.
Yeah.
They are trying to take us back to the 40s and 50s. All public universities in Alabama has just closed up all the DEI offices ahead of the new law against them going in effect this October. Now, this is something that we all need to be paying attention to.
Wait, hold on. There's DEI offices?
There's DEI offices usually in every major corporation, major educational institution, government offices. Remember Mike Johnson, like the day after the Supreme Court made their ruling on affirmative action, he literally shut down the DEI offices that's in the House of Representatives. As Speaker of the House, he has that power to do that. So Nancy Pelosi hired more of them. He got rid of them. So the people that was there during Nancy and the extra people that she added on, he wiped them all out.
We just told them that you that's it. Today's your last day.
Yeah, you're done. We don't need you anymore. You know, but there is big corporations that are wiping them out. We saw Google did it. We saw I heard that it happened in Facebook, but I didn't. But I had to check my sources because the people that reported it weren't reputable. Instagram said they would not do it.
So explain that for the people in the back. Black people, listen to this. Understand that if that happens, all this, getting jobs because of your education and all of that is out the window. Which you should get it because you got the GPA or you got the credentials or whatever. You went to school to be an engineer, you went to school to be a doctor, whatever the case may be. It's a 50, maybe 65% chance that you will not be getting the job. A lot of these companies, to include the government, had to follow that rule that because if they had certain people in hiring, HR or whatever is doing the hiring for your employer has to have, to include the government job, you have to have so many different nationalities of people working, minorities. Yep. With that rule being ruled out, thanks to your good old black people that support Donald Trump, that party. You will no longer be able to get a job and you sitting on probably a PhD or whatever the case may be. Just so you know.
To that point, there are some out there trying to sue to get the remember that big bill, that the $1 trillion bill that Biden signed into law to refix the country, bridges, roads.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The infrastructure bill.
Infrastructure bill, right.
Remember the infrastructure bill that Donald Trump promised when he would do when he gets in office? Remember the one that Obama said that he wanted to do, but he couldn't because the Republicans took over and they shut him down on everything? Biden got it done. It took 3 presidents to get this done. $1 trillion went out to all the states for your bridges, your roads, your transportation. It sits at the state capitals. You have to file for the money. Remember that national news story, how that bridge collapsed here in Philly in 95?
Yes.
And it was a $140 billion corridor for Walmart, Target, and all the goods to get into the stores. and they got it fixed in like 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
It's a reason why Pete Buttigieg was down here meeting with our state secretary of transportation, because we went and pulled that money from that Biden sent.
Gotcha.
And the reason why the Republicans out there want to sue Biden for it, because there's something written in the law. If you get a dime of this money, a percentage of the work pre, during, and post has to contain Black and Latinos in it.
That's right. Black people don't know that. Black people don't know that Biden passed the law, gave the money, and in order for you to get the money, you got to hire minorities.
You got to hire Black people. You cannot shut them down.
So now the Republicans are going to come back and sue because of that part is in the law. That's the bullshit I'm talking about.
Because the Supreme Court said that affirmative action was wrong. There is no more racism. Think about it. That was the argument. How could there be racism? We have a Black vice president. We just had a Black president.
Just
the
saying
person
that
the NBC News
is racist in itself. Just for the Supreme Court to come back with that statement in itself, that's like somebody saying, a white person saying, I'm not racist, I have Black friends.
Well, I mean, look at Clarence Thomas, who was siding with the crackers. He's in that seat because of DEI.
Yep.
So just look at it this way. If you bust your ass in high school and you got straight A's, I mean, you said, I want to go to Duke University because I want that. That's what I got my eye on. That's my goal. You do everything right, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. You get a full ride. You do everything, and they can shut you down because you Black. And you find your ass at the community college.
Right.
Because none of the white schools that you want to go to, because the school you go to in college can determine what kind of paycheck you get.
That's right. Yep.
So guess what? Now you got to go to the local community college, or you're going to have to go to HBCU, which corporate America, some recognize HBCUs, not all. So that's something you got to work on.
HBCU. So here you are over here at the HBCU. You come out. That's okay. That's all right. Y'all passed that law. I'm going to college anyway. I'm going to the HBCU. Get out of there with your degree, and then go and try to apply for a job. They're like, nah, we don't accept this as a reputable college. Now what you gonna do?
Because and just think about it. Your kid could be turned down. You watched your kid. You're so proud of your kid who worked his ass off or her ass off to go to a college that they want to go to because they looking to create a good career for themselves. And they get turned down. And you know it's because of their color.
What you gonna do?
You know it's because of the color of their skin.
Black people need to understand. This is just another way to keep us minorities from learning and getting education. It's another way for us not to further our education. It brings us back to, it used to be a time. That's why HBCUs came up in the first place, because they didn't want to accept us in schools.
Yeah, and just imagine, let's say they do get into school. Now they got to go get a job.
And that job, and the employer that says that I don't have to go by these guidelines anymore, DEI guidelines. You can't come up in here. We don't want no Black people up in here working.
Yep, and it's lily white.
They don't have to give you no explanation either.
Yep. How many times did we see Gucci and all the other which come out with some racist products, and the people came together and complained about it, and we said, hey, why don't y'all have Black people at the table in these marketing campaigns? They don't have to do it anymore.
Nope.
Now, how do you fix it? It's a real simple fix. You vote. Because the first thing Biden said is, okay, give me the House, give me the Senate, and we're going to ratify it into law. All the stuff that the Supreme Court that we're complaining about, that they changed and they stood up against and they took away from you ladies, men, or whatever, it's because they were never laws. Roe versus Wade was a decision. And once the Supreme Court makes a decision, it sticks. It becomes precedent. Now, if you make a law and you ratify the decision, they can't take it away because it's law.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're only taking away the shit that's debatable because there's the sides never one side could never win. So guess what? You get the House, you get the Senate, abortion's legal. The morning after pill is legal. They're trying to take away goddamn birth.
The only way it's going to be legal is if motherfuckers get out there and vote.
Yeah, and they pass.
You can't get that done. You got
they pass a law. Think about it. Guns, right? Biden got a partial gun ban his first fucking year in. Guess what? We can do it again. We can get the ARs off the fucking street. I don't understand why it's so hard. You can't just vote in November. You got to get your ass up in the spring and vote again. There's an election every 6 months.
Yep.
You put Kamala in there.
Yeah.
We take the House. We keep the Senate. We pass some laws that's going to benefit people.
I don't know why, but I was talking to the younger generation. My nephew, my godson, and he was just like, I'm not interested in vote. I just looked at him like, that's not what you come from. I had to have a long ass conversation with my godson, like, what you mean you don't want to vote? What good is it gonna do? I said, you sitting up, it's just a form of ignorance. And if I know that I am the way that I am because my mom taught me. She taught me long time ago. And I remember when she went to Desert Storm, she came back from war and said, let me tell you something. This country here, yeah, you have to be a certain kind of way. You cannot be a country that's weak or show weakness or be on the up and up all the time. Sometimes you got to do the dirty shit to be on top. All that nigga said to me. Shout out to my mom. I think I said in the beginning of the show, today's her birthday. She'd have been 78. She went to Desert Storm and gave this country 24 years of her life. So yeah, you it's just that she taught me this stuff. That's why I am the I am. If we don't teach and talk to our kids, man, our generation, our kids is kids. They're just gonna get more ignorant to the fact and take what they hear and see on social media as facts.
And you know what? That statement I've heard, because I mentor a lot of young people, and I hear that statement a lot. And this is my response to that, because you got to look at it from their perspective. Presidents don't affect your everyday life.
They sure don't.
That's why they feel so disconnected.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. Let's take that. Let's sit that to that side of the plate. The second dish is they don't understand how government works. Basic civics is lost.
In school. It should be taught in school.
They don't teach it in school anymore, and that's done on purpose. It's done on purpose. If you don't know basic civics, you're going to get a Donald Trump. That's why they took it out over 10 years ago. Now they're taking out Black history. On top of taking out Black history, they're getting rid of DEI. So not only are you not teaching young Black youth what racism looks like and the history of racism in this country, you're letting them go out there and experience it because they're going to get shut down.
Yeah.
It's too many Black people making money and making moves for their liking. What do you think "Make America Great" means? Again, that's the last A in MAGA. They want to take it back because they feel like they're losing their country. They're not having babies. They're not having babies at the right rate. That's why they got in vitro clinics are popping up all over the place. They don't make them for us. They make them for them. Abortion clinics weren't made for you. I love listening to Black women talking about too many Black women. Guess what? It's a small fraction. They don't put abortion clinics out there for Black women. They put them out there for the white ones.
No. Yeah.
Right? Because if they're doing it because they want to kill us. Listen, if that's the case, that shit would be there right in the hood beside the Chinese store. That's how they kill you, with the food. And they need you to keep buying money at Walmart. They need you to keep buying stuff at their stores. That they love their fucking money.
Yeah.
And that's how you get to them. That's all they care about. Vote your ass off. Young people, you got to reach them by showing them the reality that's in front of them. When you get pulled over by a cop and he does anything wrong, you want a DA that's going to lock him up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You do that by voting. If you got that homie or cousin that did something and messed up, you don't want them to go to a redneck judge. You want them to have a judge that's either going to be fair or a judge that's going to look like them. Right? You do that through voting. You want more black teachers. You do that through voting. So I don't know, man.
All we can do is teach our kids.
Hey,
I'm going to continue to the day I die to have this conversation with my family, but the young people in my family is what my family have done. I have to pass it on, and they need to pass it on to their kids. That's the only way, to me, is in regards to generational wealth. That wealth of knowledge is just as important as generational wealth, physical money. So,
yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, because it's politics in everything we do. It's, right. I mean, I don't care. Even the sneakers that you go buy, it's connected to politics, which is another conversation.
The dissociation of being a part of that. I've heard young people say, "Oh, that was back. That was old history. Slavery was back in your day, and all that. It don't apply to them." It's not even. I gotta come up with another word. It's not even a form of ignorance. It's something that's deeper than ignorance.
It's misinformation. When you take ignorance and you smear a good coat and the misinformation on top of it, boy, oh boy, you got a lost people. Because yes, it happened way back then, but there's people in power that wish it never went away. Mm-hmm. That's the part.
You're saying, why does this history? The kid, what was that lady said on the news? Said, this is the other story I want to say real quick, real briefly about the Kamala Harris. She wanted Kamala Harris passed a bill or was a part of a bill that gave black farmers more money or money to grant money to get their farms back on board. Then the white farmers had to wait, and the black chick told her that's because white farmers had been getting the money and black farmers wasn't able to get money to farm their land. Don't see that part. You want to make it seem like Kamala Harris passed a bill just for black farmers, but she had to do that because all these years black farmers couldn't get no kind of grant money to get their land plowed and shit.
See, this is why information is important, because she voted. She was a senator when that happened. Mm-hmm. But here's the facts of the case. There was a lawsuit that happened that showed that there was discriminatory practices on how federal funds was being disseminated to farmers. Black farmers was getting screwed over.
Right.
So a lawsuit was filed. A judge says, I agree. And the black farmers were awarded tons of billions of dollars. Now, it is the Senate's job, right, to get it through. So now, here's Nancy Pelosi, not the Senate, the House of Representatives. They're supposed to put that on the yearly budget. Nancy Pelosi every year, she's like, okay, don't remember, we got to pay these black farmers, so let's take out this $200 billion and we got to put it here. The Republican says no.
Oh, yep.
No. So she has a choice. She can keep putting it on the table and they keep saying, no, we're not budging, but we'll fight about the food stamps. We'll fight about everything else, but there ain't no argument and we ain't even talking about it. These people have been waiting for almost since Obama was in office to get paid. Kamala Harris, she just voted and asked to turn the faucet on so they can get paid because they've been getting screwed. So if the feds put out $200 billion for all the farmers across the country to have access to that capital, and the black farmers are only getting 10, 20 million collectively, well, where the fuck is the rest of the hundreds of billions?
That's not funny the way you say that. That's right. That's the way you got to break it down for black people to understand. Excuse me, potatoes and cabbage and corn and
Yeah,
shit don't have no race. It's all
yeah,
groceries. Why are you once
exactly.
again now black farmers is trying to grow some groceries for your ass and you can't
Yeah,
even understand that this lady had to step up and she's too liberal. This is the white farmers didn't get no money. That black lady let that white lady have it on the CSBC. Are you
yeah.
serious? All this time,
Like
white
and
farmers
these
been growing groceries and black
and
farmers ain't been doing shit and
and
can't get no money for nothing.
and remember, these people had to go through. All farmers took a hit during the pandemic. They didn't have workers. They
Right?
didn't. They couldn't get supplies. And I literally watched Trump blame Biden for the eggs. Remember when the egg? Everybody was talking about how much the eggs was up due the inflation. But here's the part that nobody wants to talk about. Back when Trump was in office, the feed that comes in trucks that gets airlifted from one part of the world to the state, and a truck picks it up and drops it off to the farmer, they weren't working. It cost more to raise the cattle because they didn't have all the shit.
Right. See, people don't know.
Right?
They don't know.
Biden took charge on January 20th.
Mhm,
What did we find out by the end of the month? That there was boats sitting on the water for weeks
mhm.
that couldn't deliver your TVs, your bikes, your PlayStations.
Yeah.
That couldn't deliver the shit that we get from China. And oh, by the way, remember Trump said tariffs. He put
Yep.
tariffs, which cost China more to send the shit. So guess
Yep.
what China did? Raise the prices on shit.
Sure did. Yeah, that's when he was messing with China, calling them that they're the reason for the COVID, and then it came all of a sudden you couldn't get half the shit that you. Oh, we're gonna make it. We can't make all this stuff make in United make it in America overnight. All the
Yeah,
stuff we get from China, like, are you delusional? You gonna put these tariffs on these people so we can't get shit, but they want to say we
yeah.
gonna. That's okay. We don't need it. We gonna make it here in the United States. What?
Yeah, and so think about it. We had a majority of 2020 lockdown. Almost all of 2021 was on some form of version of lockdown. And when you was moving around as essential workers only, of course everything's going to cost more in 2022, 2023 because our economy never been through this shit before. We never had a shutdown in labor across the board before. So when things stop producing and things stop moving, it's going 6 months of no moving will affect the economy for years,
Yeah.
and it's finally getting back to normal.
Mhm.
Because I don't know about y'all, but I paid $2.40 for a fucking 18 thing of eggs.
Yeah. I remember when
When
it was
last
$7.
year,
You know, it was
yeah,
like
early 2023, them bitches was higher than that.
yeah. What kind of chickens are these? Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy. I
So
remember.
yeah, I mean, and not only that, the president don't control prices.
No, but you let them tell us
President don't control.
he's the reason why the gas is so high. He's the
Yeah,
reason. People, when I hear people say that on TV, I'm like, the president ain't got nothing to do with the
presidents
gas
don't
prices.
control none of that. I can tell you what he did do when he saw and he saw 6 months ago, maybe even seven, might have either been December or November. I can't remember. But when he saw prices, he was told prices will be up for the spring and the summer. He released 200 million barrels of oil. And the reason why he did that is because when prices go up, that means something's happening in the Middle East that disrupts the market, which means them trucks ain't moving, them planes ain't moving because somebody blowing up something over there. So he said, okay, cool, y'all can buy it from America. You buy it from us.
Mm-hmm.
So he releases it out and the gas companies and oil companies buy it. So when y'all say shit ain't moving, shit is moving. You just don't know because you ain't doing no research.
Exactly. And black folks, we just not going. A lot of folks, but especially us black folks, ain't finna sit up there and do that research
At all.
We just not.
at all.
We sit up on social media and listen to somebody else claim they did the research, and it'd be a whole lie. Some shit that they know.
Yeah,
You do know people can make up a post or make up whatever and put it out on social media. It'd be a straight up lie, and you are sitting up here liking and posting on it and believing it. And then, oh, let
yep,
me check this. Let me check this out and see if this really wasn't really going on.
yep.
You
Because all
know
you gotta do is do
that's
a
too much
Google
work.
search.
That's too much work, right? It ain't like you got to get up and leave your house and go to the library. All you got to do is
Yeah,
research. Take 5-10 minutes. You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
You
Because
don't.
like the story that Darius brought up, uh, when I first heard it, the first thing I did is I looked at a national story. Then I went and looked at a local newspaper or a local reporter. Why? Because the local reporters are the ones who are actually knocking on doors and pounding pavements. CNN, MSNBC, they are regurgitating what a local dude said, and they're not even doing it in detail. They're doing highlights.
Right.
That's simple research.
Yeah. Real journalism.
Yeah, I follow journalists. I'll pay attention. They got radio shows. I listen.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, local homicide happened here, and it's something that piques my interest. I'm going to watch the news, and the news is going to give me 30 fucking seconds. But I'm going to watch the journalist podcast because he's going to talk about how not only did he talk to the person's family and friends who got killed, they're also going to talk to the killer's family and friends
Yeah. Yeah.
because that's how you found out why they were shooting in the first place.
Right. The whole story. It's always a backstory. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yep. Did
Okay.
Taylor Swift come through and endorse Kamala Harris?
I don't know. I saw something about the Swifties. I'm still, I had to take myself off the grid for a couple days. I wasn't feeling well. So today I'm playing catch up. I got a lot of information to download locally, nationally, and through the state. So, but I did see some Swifty conversation being thrown around on Twitter. So she must have did something.
The Beehive too.
Yeah,
Beyonce. Yep. So we shall see.
yeah.
Young folks is listening, and unfortunately it takes for celebrities that's got a lot of followers for them to listen. And whatever works.
Uh,
Hey, you know.
let's do some quick shout outs before we get out of here. I couldn't get to everybody's comments. People are very active on the chat. This is a good conversation. Went a little long today. Let's see. To Sean Cortez, thank you. Helancy Gates, thank you. Latanya, thank you. Jeffrey Saunders, who's one of our regulars, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Chloe's World 2011, thank you. And everybody else who's listening, we appreciate y'all. Give us a follow over on all social platforms under Shoebox Talk, Instagram, Facebook, Shoebox Talk. And you can also follow the corporate entity, Hubnet, online. That's on Instagram, Facebook, and as well as YouTube, which we're broadcasting now. So, good conversation. Darius has checked out on us. Thank you for attending, Darius. Thank you for your insight. All right, boss lady.
All right, we went a long time this time, and we probably go another 2 hours talking. So we had to do when next time we update, we gonna make sure we allot 2 hours or so, y'all. We appreciate y'all listening in and all of our supporters and everything. We'll see you next week.
Peace, y'all.